Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Snoopy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Snoopy's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash. He keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using, and you'll be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now Snoopy is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on the leash without pulling you or tugging you, being under control. The command is Snoopy heel. And you'll notice that each time that Fred stops his feet, Snoopy's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. And he's doing a fine job of doing that. Fred talks to him to keep him motivated and focused, and he's doing a really good job. And the next exercise that Fred's going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. Open flat of your palm about an inch or so from his muzzle, the one-word firm command to stay. Now the sit stay helps to develop attention span and maturity, and can be practiced indoors as well as outdoors. When Fred returns back to his dog, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction. And with Snoopy, it's also a trust issue. Fred praises him, and they take off heeling again. He's doing great with his heels. You want to keep him close next to you so that he knows that you're in control, and that way he doesn't have to be. He's a bit of a nervous dog. Fred leaves him in another stay. Your long sit stay when you're practicing at home in your home is 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. This time, instead of returning to him, Fred calls him in. Excuse me. The command is Snoopy come. He should come right in front and sit facing your knees, and then he returns back around to heel position, back sitting. And they'll set up for their next recall or come on command. Fred calls him in. He sits, has a tendency to be insecure, so he sits on your feet. He wants to be real close to you, and I think that's where some of his little bit of aggressive tendencies come from, is fear motivation. He is very insecure and nervous. So your obedience training really helps the dog in gaining confidence. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you are your down commands, and there are 2 of them. The first one is down from a heel position. Fred's going to use the open flat of his palm straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down, and then leaves him in a stay. And your long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 minutes, working up to 5 minutes. And he really needs that to gain attention span, focus. He learns to know how to relax on the end of a leash and allow you to be in charge. When Fred returns back to him, he will walk all the way around him as he did on the sit stay as an additional distraction. Fred gives him a pat for praise, and they're going to demonstrate that down from heel one more time for us. Fred uses the open flat of his palm straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down, and he leaves him in a stay. And as you get more comfortable with your commands and practicing with Snoopy at home, you can mix them up, and this time Fred will call him in. He comes in and sits, and that stops him from jumping on you, and then he returns back around to heel. Fred gives him a pat to let him know you're doing good, you're okay. We got this. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance, and this is a little bit harder exercise because the dog's not next to you. So for a dog like Snoopy who's nervous, it's a little bit harder. Fred leaves him in a sit stay, and always have your dog sitting before you put him into a down. Fred's going to use his right hand to give the command, Alright, we'll can start that over if you want, Fred. Just go back and we'll heal him out of that. He decided to have an itch in the middle of his command. So we're going to bring him back around. And this is what you do if your dog doesn't do it correctly. You don't lose patience, you just start over. See, he wants to be close to you. And Fred's going to leave him again in a stay. And this is the harder of the commands. There we go. You're down from a distance. Now you're going to be instructed on how to do all of these commands when you come to get Snoopy. Your heel, your automatic sit, your stay, you're down from a distance, and your come. All of these commands, you'll work with a trainer doing them, and we'll answer any other questions that we can about Snoopy and his personality and behavior. He's done a good job. He's tried really hard. We've enjoyed having him, and thank you for using Nora's Dog Training Company.